Jay, you gonna have Blake on your bike, man?
Huh?
Any chances of picking up Blake Lively and having her on the back of this?
Never happened.
Justin Baldoni might have a better chance as a guy, man.
Everybody has a better chance.
Wow, thanks, dude.
Jay Leno just humiliated Blake Lively live on air, roasting her so badly that even random strangers apparently have a better shot with him than she does.
So this means that the entire narrative that Blake Lively created about this smear campaign could collapse.
This came after Blake's fake smear campaign against Justin Baldoni collapsed, built on stolen texts, shady subpoenas, and exposed lies that Hollywood isn't willing to cover for anymore.
Wow. He is saying what everybody else is thinking right now. No one wants to have Blake Lively on their bike. That's for sure.
You know it's bad when even Jay Leno, the guy known for being Hollywood's Mr. Nice Guy, the car-collecting, dad joke-making legend, can't hold back anymore. We're talking about a man who's been in the industry for decades, rarely picks sides, keeps it friendly, and still somehow finds time to cruise around on his motorcycles like a chill grandpa. And yet even he couldn't resist roasting Blake Lively into the ground. That's how messy this whole situation has gotten. For her.
Everyone knows who Jay Leno is. And what's special about Jay Leno is that everyone likes him. He's a very sympathetic guy. I've met so many people who said that Jay Leno is he's just well liked everywhere.
Blake Lively, the so-called sweetheart of Hollywood, has been walking around for years pretending she's America's golden girl, while behind the scenes she's been running what I'd call one of the most pathetic smear campaigns this town has ever seen. And guess what? It's finally blowing up in her face.
Him to say something like this about Blake Lively, I think is major, and it's really showing where Hollywood stands, really, when it comes to her.
Jay Leno didn't just casually reject her, he nuked her reputation with one savage line that basically said, "Even random strangers have a better chance with me than Blake Lively." You don't need me to tell you how brutal that is coming from Leno. This is the guy who literally avoids drama like it's his job. He could have smiled, nodded, dodged the question, but nope, he went in.
So if you missed that, this photographer said to Jay Leno, "Any chance of you picking up Blake Lively on your bike?" And he said, "That would never happen."
This isn't just shade. This isn't some late-night monologue jab you forget the next day. This is a sign that even the biggest names in Hollywood are tired of Blake's nonsense. Her carefully crafted narrative, the sweet, charming, relatable actress? Yeah, that's dead, gone, burnt to a crisp, all thanks to the pile of legal disasters she created trying to control her public image. We're talking sham lawsuits, fake subpoenas, shady backroom schemes, and now the house of cards is finally collapsing. Jay Leno's little comment might seem small, but let me tell you, in Hollywood, that's code for she's finished.
And he said maybe Justin Baldoni has a better chance. And Jay Leno said, everybody has a better chance than her.
And honestly, the way Leno delivered that burn, chef's kiss. It all went down during this casual paparazzi run-in, one of those random Hollywood moments where celebs get caught off guard. Some photographer, clearly knowing the drama, throws out the question, "Hey, Jay, any chance you'll have Blake Lively riding on the back of one of your iconic bikes?" Simple question, right? Leno could have smiled, changed the subject, done the classic no comment. But nope, he hit back with zero hesitation. That would never happen. Never. That's brutal coming from Jay Leno. That's basically a public execution.
You know, Hollywood is known to protecting its own until it doesn't. And when someone on the inside starts distancing themselves like he's doing here, I think that is a huge sign.
But wait, it gets better. The guy brings up Justin Baldoni, you know, the one Blake's been trying to drag through the mud with her weak, falling apart smear campaign. And Jay doesn't hold back there either. He straight up says everybody has a better chance than her, everybody, random fans, the Uber driver, probably even the camera guy filming him. Everyone's apparently more likely to get a ride with Jay Leno than Blake Lively. That's the level we've hit, folks. She's officially that unwanted. You know your PR game is dead when the nicest dude in Hollywood is casually roasting you to paparazzi like it's nothing.
little digs at her on talk shows, but not really anything like this. So thank you, Jay Leno, for being honest.
And don't forget, Leno's not some guy known for stirring the pot. He's built a reputation as the don't rock the boat type. The guy's famous for keeping his head down, staying away from celebrity drama, just vibing with his car collection. So for him to take this kind of public shot at Blake, that's huge. It means even the behind-the-scenes crowd, the A-listers who usually stay neutral, are done pretending. Blake's name? It's toxic now, but let's not act like this came out of nowhere. Blake Lively's been cooking up disaster behind closed doors for months, maybe even years. You want to talk about manipulation? Let's get into the Van Zen mess, the absolute joke of a legal strategy that's unraveling right in front of us. The center of this whole thing is a phony lawsuit filed by Blake's shell company, Van Zen. Yeah, because when your reputation's falling apart, apparently the solution is to create a shady company with your name slapped on the ownership papers, cook up a fake lawsuit, and hope no one notices. Spoiler, everyone noticed.
During the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively drama.
Yeah, no, that just seems silly to me. I don't know. I can't say. California is on fire. I don't know how many people are coughing through the flames trying to follow Blake Lively.
The lawsuit itself? Total scam. They filed it against 10 unnamed individuals. Yeah. They didn't even bother naming real people, just John and Jane Does. Also, they could justify sending a shady subpoena to Stephanie Jones, an ex-employee. From Jones' works, that subpoena wasn't about justice or accountability. It was a sneaky way to dig into private information, specifically, to get their hands on Jennifer Abel's personal phone. And what did they find? Texts, emails, private conversations, all the usual stuff people like Blake love to weaponize in their fake victim narratives.
Van Zandt and Blake Lively's team don't want anyone to see the subpoenas that were sent to Stephanie Jones. Just to remind everyone, what happened was that a company called Van Zandt all of a sudden sued 10 anonymous people that they called Joe Does or Jane Does.
Here's the real kicker. The lawsuit dropped like a bad habit the moment they got the data. Gone. Vanished. No follow-up, no court battle, no real legal fight, because it was never about justice. It was about silencing critics and controlling the narrative, plain and simple. Blake's fingerprints are all over this scam, and reports have been flying around linking both her and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, to Van Zandt's ownership. So spare me the shocked reactions. They weren't just aware of this shady operation. They orchestrated it.
Likes cars and he's very into cars, and he's always being so nice to people. He's always waving, making jokes. I could just feel his vibe as well when I went to this screening of this movie.
Embarrassing how sloppy they were. You'd think if you're going to run some backdoor legal scheme, you'd at least try to cover your tracks. But nope, the moment this blew up, the connections started surfacing. Ryan Reynolds, supposedly Mr. Nice Guy in his own right, tied to this mess right alongside Blake. They thought they could run their little puppet show in the dark, pulling strings, leaking private info, sabotaging reputations, all while playing the victims on magazine covers. But the mask's slipping, the lies are catching up, and even Jay Leno's not buying it.
I don't know how many people are coughing through the flames trying to follow Blake Lively.
You know it's over when the Hollywood elites, the people who usually close ranks to protect their own, start backing away. That bike snub? It wasn't just a funny line. It was a signal that Jay Leno doesn't waste his breath on nonsense. When he casually lets the world know Blake Lively isn't welcome on his bike, or in his circle, it's because even behind the scenes, people are jumping ship. The fake lawsuits, the weaponized subpoenas, the desperate attempts to control the press, it's all unraveling, and Blake's been exposed for exactly what she is.
Over afterwards and offered me popcorn if I wanted to share his popcorn. The way he was talking to everyone, I was like, okay, Jay Leno is a really, really cool guy.
You know what's hilarious? Jay Leno saw this whole Blake Lively train wreck coming from miles away. Months before he publicly roasted her into oblivion, people were already trying to get him to weigh in on her little legal disaster. It happened during one of those movie press events, where celebs sit around pretending everything's perfect, while the PR machine burns behind the scenes. Some reporter slid in a question about Blake's legal mess, hoping for a soundbite. And Jay, man. His reaction said it all.
But now Jay Leno has made his stand, and he's definitely not Team Blake Lively.
Dodged that thing like a pro. You could practically see the discomfort crawling across his face. The man looked like someone had just asked him to babysit a raccoon. He didn't defend her. He didn't show support. He barely acknowledged the situation. And honestly, that silence was deafening. Jay Leno doesn't do controversy, yet even then, he couldn't bring himself to fake support for Blake Lively. That's how cooked her reputation was, even back then, and let's not forget the context here. This wasn't happening in some quiet week where the biggest headline was a celebrity breakup. No, this was during the California wildfires. The entire state was literally burning to the ground, people coughing through smoke, homes destroyed, and in the middle of all that, Blake's PR disaster is what people expected Jay to care about. Leno basically brushed it off like, we've got bigger things to worry about. Nobody gave a damn about Blake's overhyped drama, especially when it reeked of manipulation. And reek it did. You could read it all over Jay's face. He didn't need to say a word, his body language screamed, "Yeah, I see through this act." And turns out he wasn't alone. Fast forward to the bike roast, and suddenly the gloves were off. That awkward hesitation from months ago turned into open mockery. Even the people who stayed neutral, the ones who usually zip their mouths shut when scandals hit, are done covering for Blake's fragile little image, and honestly, it's no wonder her entire smear campaign against Justin Baldoni is collapsing faster than her fake victim routine. Blake built her case around one thing: stolen private messages.